This is very provocative. It helped me understand why in my grandparents' generation and before that, men were typically 10 years older than the women they married.
Why are young women...
AI is being used like this, like it's rampant. Charlie made like a video about like this new genre of YouTube videos that is just like old people being like AI generated with like the most generic things possible. I like listening to Alan Watts, who used to be like a philosopher in the 70s. Some of the lectures are like on YouTube, but also that footage is being used in order to like AI generate new speeches. So let's listen to AI advice about why men were typically 10 years older than the women they married.
Attracted to older men, it goes deeper than you think. It is not because they're broken gold diggers or being manipulative. It is because older men activate something that younger men haven't developed yet. Young women bring youth, beauty, curiosity, softness. Older men bring experience, confidence, emotional control, and safety.
I feel like this entire video is just going to describe grooming and predatory men taking advantage of women who do not have like life experience to tell all the red flags.
That pairing has worked for thousands of years because of what? Biology and polarity. A young woman is wired to seek a man who can guide her and protect her and elevate her, not control her, but teach her.
Right.
You know, we always had like these fake podcast clips where somebody just had like the angle of like, oh, you're talking to a microphone and there's like another person. But in reality, it's just like, it's fake. Right?
A man is talking in front of a microphone, and it looks like a standard podcast clip. But most of these videos that you're seeing are fake. There's no podcast being recorded, and there's no one on the other end of that conversation. The whole thing is being staged to generate clips for social media and sell things. People even use fake backdrops, putting the characteristic brick or red curtain behind themselves to make it seem like they're on Joe Rogan or another big podcast. Sometimes they even cut in clips from Rogan, Huberman, or other popular podcasters to make it seem like they're reacting. And this fake podcast video clip industry is booming right now. Some people are making thousands of dollars a month creating these videos. Because being in front of a microphone as if you're on a podcast makes you seem more trustworthy and authoritative, which makes it all the easier to promote things. So the next time you see someone in front of a microphone on the internet, you might want to think twice about what they're pushing.
So this was from Taylor Lorenz from 2024. Back then, there was huge, and that is still like a huge industry. You still continuously see like the podcast setups on TikToks and like the small little clips. They are AI generating these things using like red pill talking points to like justify patriarchal things. And you know, now you have like a woman that you can generate. This absolute goober went ahead and was like, yeah, so it's AI, who cares? I'm commenting on the content, and only because it helps me understand why in earlier generations women in their early 20s routinely married men in their early 30s. It's because it's a patriarchal system, it's predatory. It's how youth is being like celebrated, and it's men taking advantage of vulnerable women. It is grooming. And you still don't understand the actual issue with it. This doesn't help you understand. I tweeted with this, I don't care that it's AI because it affirms what I already believe. I don't know why this character looks like Charlie Kirk, but I thought that was also kind of interesting. It's so embarrassing to sit there and take AI content at face value. It's nonsense. It doesn't convey actual genuine information. These scripts are being trained on like incel podcasts and red pill podcasts, and they still miss the actual point. Why do old men marry young women? Why do old men chase after young women? Why did a father send their 14-year-old daughter to a man who was in his 40s? Oh, it's because the man needed to teach the woman how to live. It's incredibly predatory. It makes me feel sick that these people just don't even question things, because it affirms what they already believe and they don't look deeper into the subject. Because why would they? They have now like an AI generated podcast type of thing. And beyond sake of the quote unquote safety argument, women wouldn't need safety in a civilized society if men weren't such creeps all the time. Yeah, if men were socialized properly, they wouldn't be the biggest threat to women. The irony of incels crying about not getting women, but following fake prophets who want to establish a system that enables old established men to take advantage of women in their age group. Being a 12-year-old boy is so hard because, you know, you're competing for girls with the president of the United States. It's so embarrassing that these people are just like taking AI stuff at face value and then defend it because like, hey, I already believe this. Wait, let me bring up the video from Moist Critical. So this is just like the channel and it's like 13, 14 minute videos of AI generated old people. I'm 87. This one question changed how I see everything. Married 60 years. Don't make these 5 mistakes. We did.
This is before it's too late. It's a channel that's fully AI generated, giving you these cliche platitudes about regret and spending your time wisely, delivered through the lips of AI generated old people.
There's like a huge ecosphere on the platform of like older people like actually, you know, just sitting down and talking. And I'm guessing that has just been like fed into the AI as like training data in order to recreate this stuff with more generic type of advice. You know, a lot of like these motivational channels, they are also very generic and very like, you know, the John Peterson book, being like, oh, clean your apartment. If you do your bed every morning, you will increase your happiness by 10%. I woke up every morning at 4 a.m. and I forced myself to go do a workout, and that increased my productiveness and happiness by 420%. And then you sit there and you deal with like all of these things. You have like financial issues, maybe you have relationship issues, maybe you have gender dysphoria, and that pulls you down. And then waking up and forcing yourself in the gym doesn't really help you that much. You don't even have like the energy. Even if you do force yourself to work out, and then, you know, you can't do anything more on that day, it doesn't really help you that much. And now you have AI generated, like AI farms pushing out this type of content. Now you have like these fake podcasts pushing red pill content. And people they just mindlessly consume it and think they are learning something through it. We always had like people generate their worldviews using AI. That was always an issue. But now this is also like a normie stuff.
I spent the first 50 years of my life believing the same lies you probably believe right now. I thought I had it all figured out. I had the career, the house, the respect of my peers. But at 52, something happened that shattered everything I thought I knew.
Poor bastard got minted on the blockchain. They funged the non-fungible right from under his nose. Again, you have heard this trash a billion times before. So many of these like pseudo-intellectual, like self-help guru YouTube channels and shit have said the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. And this is an evolution of that where it's even lazier, even more low effort, but much, much faster to produce. And they can put like a emotional draw to it with like an old person's perspective here now. So now people are buying into it more and it's making them more money. It's fucking dumb. I hate this shit so much. And this is just one of very many AI genres that are blowing up on YouTube where people don't even realize they're consuming AI content right now.
And then there are always like the people who are like, well, it's AI, but like it still resonates with me. It's like, it's kind of like the like your star sign, your horoscope, where it's just the most generic thing. You've been having a very turbulent time recently. Things might feel out of reach, but sometimes when you chase something, it just gets further away. It sounds like you've just been too heavily fixating on one certain aspect and neglecting other things. Please pay me $500 if you want to learn more. That is this type of thing, but now as like AI self-help type of, you know, stories and quote-unquote educational materials, pseudo-intellectual stuff. It's dangerous. It's a very dangerous trend. And the fact that if you just listen to it, if you just mindlessly consume it on like your second monitor on your background, it's kind of like when it comes to Spotify, you have like a Spotify song radio and you don't actually listen to it. You just hear like the vibes. And then you listen closer and it's like, oh, this one is AI generated. But like you don't realize it if it's just like in the background, if it's just like something that is like an autoplay. Obviously, oh, what is the harm done? What is the harm done by watching a video of like some AI generated old dude who's saying the most generic advice ever? What if it's like some red pill stuff? What if it's like somebody lapping as like someone who's like a psychologist, a therapist, giving you life advice, telling you all of these things? And this is just YouTube stuff. What about like politicians, governments using AI to give people perceptions of certain things that are happening that are not actually happening? We already saw that the White House Twitter account is posting images that were manipulated through AI. And that's not always just, you know, to make the liberal cry. You know, like, oh, what is the harm done by having like an old guy giving you emotional advice? And then you see something like this, the anti-Muslim AI goth girl promoted by Musk.
Here is an AI purple-haired goth girl originally created for an anti-extremism computer game generated by the Home Office, but now an increasingly outspoken anti-Muslim flag-waving so-called English patriot. She has become very popular, and here she is in action.
I'm Amelia, I'm English, and I love England. I like having fish and chips and a pint at the local pub. I like pork, sausage, and dogs, and fashion.
This character has essentially been taken over, and it's staggering that how quickly this has proliferated across the internet. The middle of last week, from nothing at the start of January, there were 12,000 posts involving this character in one day. The other thing that's perhaps most damning about this is Elon Musk himself has now retweeted an account which has created a cryptocurrency behind this particular meme. So you can now get an Amelia coin, because let's face it, right-wingers need another cryptocurrency. But Elon Musk is now promoting that. And this is monetizing hate. This is one of the clearest examples we've ever had of somebody trying to make money out of right-wing hatred.
There are a lot of examples of like right-wingers monetizing hate, but you know, like Lips of TikTok and like Twitter is like notorious for monetizing creators through like engagement. If you get a lot of engagement, you're going to get a lot of money. And what gets a lot of engagement? Transphobia. So, you know, obviously there are a lot of accounts who are harassing LGBTQ people and pushing a lot of propaganda, and they're going to get inflated. So there are a lot of examples of hate being monetized on the right. But yeah, you know, you have videos that are just like AI generated, and then it affirms what they believe, and people are just going to take it at face value. There's like this Joe Rogan clip. Joe Rogan falls for obvious AI fake.
The fun.
Tim Walz.
That's right.
Did you see where he had a Trump shirt on?
Yeah.
And he's dancing and going down an elevator? Have you seen this video?
I haven't seen. Please play it. I haven't seen it.
Please, Jamie. Go full screen.
Is that really this him?
No, it's not real.
It's real.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
AI generated.
No, it's real.
No, look, I can tell it's not real.
I would love it. It's real.
It's not real.
It's got to be real.
It has to
Really
be
not
real.
It has to be real.
Jamie,
come on, man.
Jamie's compromised.
Look at him dancing.
I mean, the
That is so real, Jamie.
By the way, if this was real, he might have won.
It's probably a real person. It might not be Tim Walz. The Trump is AI generated.
No, he slaps his ass.
I mean, that is hilarious.
Oh, it's definitely him. This is all 100% real, Jamie. You're a plant by the
Jamie's
government.
compromised, and I'm worried about Jamie, and I'm worried about Grok.
Does it say that it's AI?
I mean, yes.
You say it's AI.
No, the video.
Everybody says
The
it?
video I played on top says it's AI generated.
Rep
Oh,
Riley
so
Moore
what?
fell for an AI-generated video of Minnesota governor. I fell for it, too. And you know why I fell for it?
Yeah.
Because I believe that he's capable of doing something
But that's his
dumb.
essence.
Yeah, no, the reason you fell for it is because you wanted to believe it.
And you have these people on the right who are just taking anything that they already believe at face value. They do not critically engage with the media. And these are the ones who have huge platforms using the fake things that affirm their already established belief system in order to harass people on the left even more. I don't know if you remember the you know, all these posts, these AI generated posts of like, oh my god, the liberals, the blue-haired liberals are setting the Teslas on fire. That's like the same thing. And it doesn't even, like back then, it didn't even have to look good. It didn't even have to be realistic. It's like, haha, yeah, this is like actually happening. And people just believe it. People just jump on it. Like it was already difficult to like debunk statistics, fake statistics, or like the malinformation that's being boosted. It was already difficult, but now you have like AI generated things, people taking it at face value and then going like, it affirms what I believe, so, you know, why would I question something that I already believe? Asmongold jump scare, by the way. Asmongold says, he doesn't research because he understands human psychology.
Did you ever do research or read articles outside of Twitter? How can you shamelessly tell others to read more? I don't need to understand whatever article you want me to read. All I need to understand is human psychology and incentives. I don't need to read your little special book or your Wikipedia article or anything else besides that. None of that stuff matters.
This is just a defense of anti-intellectualism. This is anti-intellectualism masquerading as like some sort of understanding of humanity. Like, oh, this is my philosophical approach. It's like, no, it's not. Understanding incentives and understanding humans is essential to doing analysis. But without any sort of factually accurate reporting, your analysis is always going to fall short. Of course, when you're on the right, you don't have to care about any of those things. And you can say, my feelings are what matter. My ignorance actually is more important than your knowledge. My feelings are more important than your facts.
I grew up, I learned certain things. I came up with a hypothesis of how certain things work. I see things that affirm what I already believe. Why would I look at research? Or like, I have an established worldview. Certain things that I already believe are being affirmed by the things that I perceive. Why would I critically engage with that? This is the face of the right-wing movement. It's just idiocracy. It's just weaponizing your ignorance and insisting that you're correct because your ignorance makes you believe that you understand the topic. And that is what we have to deal with. This is what we have to combat.